Hello Bladers, hello, welcome to a messy LocoSkates where we've just received our delivery for them skates. It's an exciting day. We're going to have a quick look at them, not a quick look, we're actually going to have a detailed look at them. So I'm super juiced that they're here, finally, after all that anticipation, and I'm super juiced that they look amazing, like the shape looks great in real life, all the components look really high quality. So I'm going to get pretty techers on these in a minute and look through the different parts very closely, and we're going to go for a skate later, and I'll tell you how they skate later on in the video as well. So the main question that I think people have been asking about this skate is about the sizing and the shell sizing and how they fit. So the shell sizing goes like this. It goes UK 6 to 7, that's the small shell. Then it goes 8 to 9, medium shell, large shell, 10 to 11. It works out perfectly for me. I think because I'm a size UK 7.5, I can squeeze into the small shell. I get a really compact, nice, small skate that's lightweight. So for me, it worked perfectly. Unfortunately, it didn't work with the liner, the original liner in it. The liner's quite thick, around the ankle. So I put in intuition, and I can fit in the smaller size shell, and it fits perfectly like that. But if you're squeezing in, you might have to change out the liner to something thinner. The other thing about these skates is that they're a budget skate. They're just over 150 pounds. So they come boot only, like this is a standard for that price. But obviously you can change, everyone's changing out their parts anyway. You've got to put some wheels and frames on it. So if you change that to high-end wheels and frames, and then if you change the liner's good, by the way. You don't need to change the liner really. But you can turn it into something a bit more expensive, a bit more high end, and I can't wait to skate that. It's going to be really good. So let's start from the bottom. I'm going to talk about each bit. So the UFS bolts, they've got this tapered head on them. I like that because if you're skating a frame where the wheels come really close to your bolt head inside, then that gives you an extra couple of millimeters to play with. Sometimes if you're really close, like in the wish frames and these adapt frames as well, it can hit the bolt head inside, so good one. I've thought about that. Then the way that the bolts and the frames attach to the sole kit is this bolt inside the sole kit, so they're not attached to the inside of the skate like most other skates. They follow a similar system as the Roses and the LocoSkate, where, as you can see, there's no thread inside there, so you don't have a big bit of metal underneath your foot that you're landing on. What it does is it screws into the sole kit, and then the sole kit itself screws onto the boot with these smaller bolts here. It's refreshing to see these smaller bolts as good quality sole kit bolts with 4mm Allen key heads. There's so much crap on the market which is fiddly and spins and doesn't work. These bolts are great. I'm really happy to see that. The sole kit itself, the shape is a little bit like the old SSM sole kit. So it's wider at the front, slimmer at the back. It's personal preference as to what shape of sole kit you like and what size of sole kit you like. It's quite a slim sole kit. I've measured this against some of the LocoSkates because that's probably the best thing to compare it to. So the similar size in the them skate as the LocoSkate, you have the same size sole kit at the front as on the them skate, but the them skate is slimmer at the back. And then with the Roses skate, again, similar sole kit, you can see, but wider on the them skate at the front, but a little slimmer at the back as well. So if you can imagine when you're doing topside tricks, you probably hook on with that front part of your skate. That's probably where most weight is pushing against the skate. The sole kit has got these slight indents here, so if you want to skate a bigger wheel, it's good that they thought about that. Moving up through the skate, the shell of the skate is, it's solid, it feels great. Like I said earlier, like on my foot, it felt amazing, like the width and the way it fit, and just in that size, for me personally, was absolutely perfect. The most controversial part, I think, about the skates when they came out, before people kind of got used to the way they look, was these the strange shaped lace holes on them, because I know that people related that sort of shape to some budget skates in the past, because there was a company called Inliners in the UK, and then Ultra Wheels, an American company, also used this same mold, and they were kind of more of a budget skate. So when they first came out, people were kind of, I saw some comments online saying, you know, not liking the lace holes, but I have to say, whether you like the look of them or not, they're super functional. So you've got this wide boot, and especially as I'm squeezing into a small boot, my foot is quite, you know, it doesn't get crushed by the top of the skate here. Like, so if that was closed off, my top of my foot would get crushed, but these lace holes, they fit right over, but they offer support over your foot at the same time as giving this wide shell. And also that reduces weight as well, because there's just less plastic around the top of your foot. I really like the way they feel, actually. I think that's amazing. There's one thing I don't like about these skates, and that's the laces. So get rid of the laces. I put some adapt laces in mine, and what I did was I put really long laces in as well, so that they wrap around the back here, so up to the top and then wrapped around the back. I think that's a good idea with this particular skate, because of the way that this shape goes here. You wouldn't want it to not be supported properly, and just by wrapping the skates around like that, it gives them a really nice tight supportive ankle area. Moving on to the cuff. Do you know what I really like about that cuff? The cuff's really nice and stiff, actually. It feels really good on. I like the deflectors over the buckle. It actually comes out over the buckle really loads. It's really sunk in, so hopefully that does actually protect it quite a lot. There's one little annoyance here, which is this receiver. When you try and get it off, it's so close to this, it's quite hard to get your thumb in there. Hack to that is just push it in a little bit. So push it in and then you can pull it out like this. You'll get used to that in about 10 seconds flat. The buckle they've used, that again, that's like the SSM buckle. I think they're using it on some of the high-end Razor skates right now as well. It's the metal buckle, so really good quality. And that, the liner. The liner felt really good when I had it on. Like I say, they're too small for me in length, in that size, in the size that I want to skate, but I'm really picky about liners as well, and that foam felt really, really good. Felt proper, comfortable on my ankle, and they look cool as well with a little hood over the back. Yeah, I think that's pretty much breaks down the technical spec on the skate. So maybe let's go and have a skate and then see how we feel about how they skate. Okay, here we are at Hove Skate Park in Brighton. It's a beautiful morning, it's early in the morning, and gonna test out the skates. First thing I like to do is to try and break in my groove. They're brand new skates, so they've got an unbroken in groove, so I like to find an unwaxed curb somewhere and just hit it a few times to get it worn in. So let's just do that for a minute. I like to do that maybe 5 or 10 times, just hit an unwaxed curve over and over and over just to get the groove really broken in. Okay, so the groove's broken in, so let's try out some grinds. Most important test for me personally is the backslide test. Groove's worn in, so let's see if we can backslide. No grab, but it's early and it's a flat rail, so whatever. Okay, next test is the torque slide test. It's a difficult one because I can't torque slide, but let's try. Again, no grab, but support around, I can't do the trick, so let's try topsides and see how they go for topsides.
Get it?
Okay, so they feel good for normal topsides. I was a little bit concerned because of the slim sole and the small size of my skate, but they all hooked on fine. Every single one was first time, except for the fishbone, which was second time. And no worries about slipping off, it felt secure. So let's try some alley-oop topsides.
Oh shit, you okay?
The absolute best thing about these skates is how they feel on the roll. They feel super part of my foot. They feel super responsive, and they got that little raised heel in them, so they're super solid as well. They make that solid sound when you land. They skate really nicely around the skate park.
Jeez!
Actually, we're going to give away one pair of these skates. There's not too many people watch these videos, so you've got quite a good chance of winning. All you got to do is click the subscribe button, give it a like or dislike if you don't like it, and then write in the comments them skates, and then tell us what wheel setup and foam setup you'll be using with these skates, and yeah, we'll pick a winner and we'll give away a pair of these skates. Peace.